Mike, Penn State finally got in the win column. The first win since 1997 for this program.
That's right. Been a long grind.
The first win really since October of last year as well. Late October, early November, I guess.
That was
November.
The win over Ohio State was in November.
November win in Ohio State. But I joke about 97. That's because they took all those wins away.
Yeah.
But the first win for Bill O'Brien, how significant was the win against Navy on Saturday?
It's like you said when we were talking about this earlier. It's significant in that if they wouldn't have won, it would have been deep trouble. I mean, certainly then you would have looked at the whole thing spiraling out of control because this was a team that they certainly. They could push around a little bit physically, and I thought as a result of that, you could see guys were able to do some things. Matt McGloin is not going to make a spin move and evade rushers when they're playing Ohio State or Wisconsin, right. but he could do that. He could do that against Navy. So I thought it was just so good in terms of all the intangible benefits just to win a game and to win it handily. And you look at I'll tell you what, you look at the Big Ten, what the Big Ten has done so far, and maybe they have a chance to get a few more wins. I mean, it's who knows?
Yeah, like I said last week, they could be 3-0 right now if things have gone differently.
And they certainly should be at least 2-1.
Yes, but for morale, if they're 0-3, I think there could have been some mutinies within the team. The fan base would have, and all that pressure on O'Brien. So it was a great win that way. And Temple coming in, Temple is not as good as last year's Temple.
I don't think they are, especially defensively. Yeah.
I think they could be 2-2 after this game if Penn State takes it seriously. Last year they almost lost to Temple. If it wasn't for Robert Bolton on a dart of a pass late in the game, I don't think McGloin makes that throw.
Somebody said we just got done with the press conference with O'Brien, and somebody said to him, Temple is treating this like their Super Bowl, and O'Brien said something pretty interesting. He said, you know what, we're only playing 12 games. We only have 2 months to go here in the season.
Right.
I mean, if we can't take every one of these 12 seriously when that's all we got. I'm happy for them that it's their Super Bowl, but it's big. It's got to be big for us too, and I think it will be. I think he really, and in terms of effort and emotions and approach to the game, I think he really believes in his team. I think he really likes his team from that standpoint.
They're a likable bunch. I mean, and what I also mean by that is they're fun to watch right now. The offense is a lot different. Defensively, they're starting to come in around. I'm a little questioned about sometimes the secondary moves. Was there anything important that stood out from Saturday's game with Navy before we look a little ahead to Temple?
I think Allen Robinson is going to be a star. Already is a star.
Yeah.
But they have not gotten the ball much to the other wide receivers. Now, I think that part of that is the other wide receivers. Part of it is take what the defense gives you. Part of it is this very unusual emphasis on the tight end position, which is really two positions for Penn State. So I don't think that's a big deal. And that's actually what I asked O'Brien about today. And he doesn't think I don't think he thinks it's a big deal either. But they have a core of guys who have emerged, who probably would not have emerged under the old regime this quickly, who have a chance to be really good. Deion Barnes is one of them. Donovan Smith is another one if he can get healthy, left tackle, redshirt freshman. And certainly Allen Robinson is at the head of that class.
And Robinson looks like he's great. I think Justin Brown has to be very upset right now, the guy that received the transfer to Oklahoma. He'd be in this position. And Silas Redd goes down with a slight injury against USC. I thought of him, I thought, is this karma? And Anthony Farrah, the kicker, who Penn State would have another win if he was here still. He's hurt now with Texas.
Yeah.
This is I'm going to call it the Sandusky factor.
Okay, all right.
But there are guys that are emerging, and I think Jesse James at tight end, Carter at tight end. They're interesting.
Yeah, those are two good names. That's a very good point.
Those are two to keep watching. Anybody else at running back? I got to say, I was okay with Zoll. It was enough to keep him honest. Throw anybody back there and just run the ball a little bit because it sets up your play action. So they've been using. Next week, I'm going to try out for running back for him. I might get a chance to play.
Well, I think you would have certain strengths, certain weaknesses. I think you're a rumbler. I think you're more in the Zordich mode.
I'm more of a John Riggins type out there, George Rogers type.
Wow, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes, well, I was thinking of their old Redskin teams. Temple coming up. Anything we need to know about Temple?
Well, Temple it has given up a fair number of points so far. I mean, Maryland beat William and Mary 7-6, and then the next week they put 36 on the board against Temple. So I don't think Temple was. Last year's game was 14-10, Penn State Temple game.
Yeah.
I mean Temple was pretty good defensively and had that grinding running back Bernard Pierce, who now is in the NFL. I don't think they have either of those things. I think athletically Temple's program is getting better. So they're overall athletes, they might be more comparable to Penn State, but I don't think they have the key pieces. I think Penn State is the better team, and I think Penn State should, doesn't mean they will, but should win.
2-2?
There you go.